YouTube was good, bro. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I will be reacting to the insane rise of Brock Purdy, aka the MVP of the season. Hey, bro. All I'm gonna say is MVP. Anybody want to argue that? Argue with the wall, argue with the air, argue with your mother. Hey, bro. This guy is playing lights out, bro. This man is literally in his second season. And y'all gotta keep in mind, this man wasn't even supposed to touch the field, bro. He was a 7th round pick, the last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant. This man wasn't even supposed to play a snap at all in the league. This man was supposed to be a backup, bro. And it's crazy to think about though, bro. If Trey never went down, I miss my boy Trey, bro. I was a big Trey believer. Bro, if Jimmy G, Trey never went down, this man would have never seen the field, bro. We would have never known the story about this guy. But this is what you call a true underdog story, though. And it's cool, though, because we experiencing history right now, bro. This man is going to win at least 4 Super Bowls. I'm calling it right now, bro. 4 Super Bowls for this kid. And this year, he's going to get his first Lombardi trophy, bro. And it's crazy, though, because I don't think I ever seen a Niners QB play this good, though, bro, because who was Niners QBs? Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jeff Garcia. Those was back in the day though, you know. I'm a 03 baby, so I wouldn't know. You guys could say Kaepernick was cool though, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like this man is just better though, bro. He's better than Kaepernick. He's better than Alex Smith. He's better than any quarterback we had though, bro. And it's crazy because a lot of people call this man a system quarterback, and people hate on him though, bro. Even analysts, bro. I even seen Cam Newton hating on this kid though, bro. Don't get me wrong, Cam Newton, he was the MVP. I'm gonna give him his flowers too. But damn, bro, for you to come out and hate on the kid though, that's barely in his second year, first season starting, and he's playing like this in an MVP caliber type of level, bro, give the man his respect, bro. Man, all I'm gonna say is, bro, I'm glad this dude's on my team though, bro. I expect 4 Super Bowls incoming, bro. Mahomes is gonna have competition. This man is probably gonna catch up to Mahomes in the next 5 years, bro. I'm calling it right now. He will be the face of the NFL, and he will be the face of this franchise. He will be the face of anything, bro. Y'all go see Brock Purdy popping everywhere, bro. And we're all here for it, bro. Y'all witnessing history. So enough of me yapping. Let's get into the video, bro.
Not many quarterbacks get the opportunity to make the playoffs in their first season, especially when you're a
and that's crazy, though. I forgot that Brock Purdy made the playoffs in his rookie season, bro. For you to come out of nowhere, bro. It was that Dolphins game he played, right? Bruh, for him to come out of nowhere and just start playing lights out like that, that shit's incredible, bro. Making the playoffs.
Shoot, many 7th rounders hardly even get the chance to start. But in the 2022 NFL Draft, the very last pick, Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy has become one of the most surprising talents in the NFL in his very first season. So how does that happen? What are the obstacles Purdy had to overcome to get the starting job? And what is it that makes him so special? This is the story of Brock Purdy.
This man is different, bro.
Mr. Irrelevant was born in Queen Creek, Arizona as the middle child to parents Sean and Carrie Purdy.
Bro, he looked the same.
He played quarterback in high school at the newly opened Perry High in Gilbert, Arizona, where he helped his team to a state championship game in back-to-back seasons.
He was doing
in
it
2016
in high school
and
too,
2017.
Bro.
Sadly, they lost both of those games, but Purdy was able to elevate the team and help them compete with some of the biggest high school teams in Arizona. Purdy's efforts didn't go unnoticed. He was named the State Gatorade Player of the Year and the Arizona Republic's High School Football Player of the Year, which would help his case
Purdy doesn't
when it came
age.
to college
That's
football
crazy.
recruiting. Purdy was listed as a consensus 3-star recruit. He was a talented quarterback who received offers from several programs, including Iowa State, Kansas, Texas A&M, and most notably, Alabama. The Alabama visit meant a conversation with legendary college head coach Nick Saban, who has brought countless successes to the Crimson Tide program.
Bro, shit, how would y'all think Purdy would, y'all think he would be a 1st round pick if he went to Alabama and played with Nick Saban and shit? I don't know though, bro. I feel like nowadays it don't even matter what college you went to though. That's just crazy to think about though.
Some of the best quarterbacks in football in recent years. Saban was blunt with Purdy, telling him how he was below average in height, his arm strength is whatever, and his accuracy is average. Purdy wasn't best pleased with the visit, and when he returned to his high school coach, Preston Jones, He told him that he was pretty sure Saban didn't know who he was.
Exactly.
See, the accuracy of his game is what Brock Purdy is most proud of, and it's what he depends on when he's out on the field.
Bro. And like, I'm not gonna pause the video a lot though. If y'all really sit there and watch like Brock Purdy tape, just watch highlights, bro. This man launches the fucking ball to the... Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Just watch the tape, bro. His man is different.
His accuracy was average. Purdy was convinced that the Bama coach hadn't watched him play.
Exactly.
Now,
and that's,
of course,
that should go for a lot of people though, bro. Anybody who hates on Brock Purdy simply don't watch him play. Simple as that, bro. That's all it is.
At the quarterback position gives you a mountain to climb when it comes to programs like Alabama. They attract all the best 5-star recruits in the nation, and Alabama is particularly well known for how dominant they are in recruiting. Purdy's career was heading in a different route though, and less than 2 weeks after his Alabama visit,
Purdy is better than Mac Jones, bro, and Mac Jones went to Alabama.
He announced his commitment to the Iowa State Cyclones. When he arrived, Purdy had plenty of work to do. He was a 3-star freshman who hadn't enrolled early and had been recruited alongside another quarterback in Real Mitchell, who was a dual-threat quarterback from St. John Bosco in California. Brock Purdy got to work on day one, running sprints at the program's indoor facility by himself. Within a few days, several other freshmen had joined him, which pointed towards the level of leadership and charisma of the young QB.
You could tell this guy had
go into his freshman year as the third-string quarterback, making sure he was prepared to play no matter how slim the chance of him getting on the field might be. Then, in week 6, his number was called. An injury to the team starter Kyle Kempt that season, followed by poor performances from the backup Zeb Nolan, gave Purdy a chance. Nolan was benched against Oklahoma State, and Purdy went out there as a freshman with a point to prove. He led touchdown scoring drives on 4 of his first 5 possessions and ended the game with 317 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Not bad for a guy coming into a game off the bench. Once Brock Purdy had gotten a taste for starting in college, he wasn't prepared to give it up. The dedicated work ethic he already had grew stronger, committed to being the hardest working player on the team, and his efforts rallied the team behind him and created a unit that played for one another.
That's just the perfect example of stay down till you come up, bro. This man literally waited for his opportunity, bro, and never went back.
Week against West Virginia, and he never gave back the starting job. He was making play after play, putting his body on the line for his team, and his quarterback's coach at the time, John Gordon, who is now the offensive coordinator and quarterback's coach at South Florida, recalls one particular play that showed him Purdy was special. It wasn't a pass play either. It was a scramble, and Purdy needed more yards with 2 defenders approaching. He lowered his shoulder and hit them before they hit him, setting his teammates into a frenzy on the sideline. They loved him, and they rallied for him, and they knew that their quarterback was going to do whatever it took to help the team win. Purdy went 7-2 as the starter for the Cyclones that season, and he would go on to start 46 consecutive games over his 4-year career with the team. He had his best statistical season in 2019, throwing for 3,975 yards and 27 touchdowns.
Hey, bro. Hey, Niner fans. Imagine if we had Brock Purdy in 2019 when we went to the Super Bowl. Imagine.
9 picks while scrambling for another 8 touchdowns on the ground. He earned second-team All-Big 12 honors that year, and the following season would team up with the breakout running back Breece Hall. The emergence of Breece Hall in 2020 meant less pressure on Purdy throwing the ball, and his numbers didn't equal that of the 2019 season because of the adjustment in the scheme to accommodate Hall. That said, Purdy guided the team with consistent play and was bumped from second-team All-Big 12 to first-team All-Big 12, and the Cyclones capped the season by defeating Oregon 34-17 in the Fiesta Bowl. Purdy's final year in 2021 was the most accurate of his college career, completing over 71% of his passes while throwing for 3,200 yards and 19 touchdowns.
And didn't Nick Saban say that he had no type of accuracy?
Big 12 in both completion percentage and passing yards that season.
Crazy how
was once again named a member of the first-team All-Big 12 and would head for the NFL draft, having set 32 school records at Iowa State.
Damn.
Purdy is now the school's all-time leader in pass attempts, completions, completion percentage, passing yards, and both passing and total touchdowns, in which he totaled 100. He posted 14 games with 300-plus passing yards during his career, completely smashing the previous school record of 5 games. Iowa State had managed a winning season in all 4 years, with Purdy as the starter.
It's crazy though, bro, because I never even watched like Brock Purdy in college. I didn't even know who he was, to be real with y'all, bro. That's just crazy though.
The last time they had done so was almost 100 years ago, between 1923 to 1927.
Damn.
So if Brock Purdy had helped the Cyclones win a whole lot more than they were used to, been a 3-time All-Big 12 quarterback and broken 32 records at Iowa State, how come he wasn't a hot ticket in the 2022 NFL draft?
That's what I'm saying.
The biggest win on the scouting report was his accuracy. He was a calm pocket passer who never looked panicked when he was flushed out of the pocket or needed to scramble, but teams had their doubts about his game. At the pro level, he didn't have the arm talent of a starting quarterback, and he was considered undersized. Scouting report after scouting report read not an NFL starter, and will struggle to see the field in the league.
Hey, bro, at the end of the day, Brock gets the last laugh.
For many college quarterbacks, they can play great football at the college level, but when it comes to the pros, they fall short of what's required to lead an NFL franchise. That was the expectation for Brock Purdy. He might get a shot as the third-string QB in the mid to late rounds of the draft, but teams weren't scouting him to be a starter. That much was clear. As it turned out, even the scouts who'd given him a mid to late round grade in the draft had been wrong. Day 3 came, round 4, round 5, round 6, and still the phone didn't ring. He sat at home with his family and waited for an opportunity. You'd have to imagine, as the picks fade in the 7th and final round, that a prospect might start to give up hope. Every pick is one less chance you've got at being drafted, so when 3 days have passed and there's just one pick left, those chances of being drafted are all but gone. That is, of course, unless your name is Brock Purdy, whose phone rang with the San Francisco 49ers.
Man, this shit makes me happy, bro.
The very last pick in the 2022 draft.
I remember watching this draft. I was like, who the hell is that?
With his family
and like, I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was low-key mad as fuck. I was like, why the fuck would y'all draft another quarterback? Well, because we had Trey. We traded like 3 first-round picks for him and shit. I was like, bro, why the fuck would y'all take another quarterback? I will never forget that, bro. That's exactly what I said.
San Francisco had traded up the previous year to draft Trey Lance out of North Dakota State 3rd overall, and the vision for the future was that Lance would be the starting quarterback for the Niners.
I was a big Lance fan.
Purdy would go in as a potential depth piece and made the roster as the 3rd-string quarterback. Despite being sat behind a first-round draft pick that the Niners had given up a wealth of picks to go up and get, and a veteran in Jimmy Garoppolo, Purdy stayed focused. He committed himself to learning every inch of Kyle Shanahan's playbook and understanding the scheme should he ever need to help the team win, just as he did at Iowa State. Teammate Dre Greenlaw, who was Purdy's neighbor in the locker room, spoke of his commitment and preparation behind the scenes. He constantly shows up to practice prepared and believes in himself despite being written off and labeled Mr. Irrelevant. Purdy was determined to be more than a gimmick who got picked last in the draft, and in the 2022 season, just as it had at Iowa State, his opportunity came. Perhaps the sudden opportunity to play in his freshman year with the Cyclones prepared Brock Purdy for the moment. Anything can happen in the game of football, and even the 3rd-string guy needs to be prepared to strap up his chin strap and command the huddle.
Only the Niners,
Trey Lance had been named the 49ers starter for the 2022 season, with Garoppolo as the backup. But in week 2, that plan was crushed when Trey Lance suffered a nasty leg injury.
I was sad that day.
In an instant.
I'll never forget that day either.
Garoppolo took over, but in week 7, had to come out of the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and Purdy had a chance to throw his first pass in the NFL. It was the Dolphins, wasn't it? It wasn't the dream start. The Niners were down in the game, and Purdy had a pretty tall task on his hands. He only threw 9 passes, completing 4 of them, while throwing an interception in the loss. 6 weeks later, in week 13, Jimmy G went down again, and this time it looked like quite a nasty foot injury. 49ers fans didn't know it yet, but what happened next shocked everybody except those who'd seen Brock Purdy work inside the facility every day since he arrived.
Like it was yesterday.
He threw for 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick against the Miami Dolphins, combining with a high-level defensive performance to give the Niners the win. Jimmy Garoppolo was severely hurt, which meant Purdy was now going to be the starter. And who was he going to get his very first NFL
I can't lie, bro. I can't lie. I remember this day. I thought Purdy got lucky, though. I was like, season's over, bro. Ain't no way we winning the championship. Which we didn't win, though, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. This story is incredible.
Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. The Bucs struggled in the game, as they had done for most of the season, but Purdy did everything he was asked to do, and the Niners coasted to a 35-7 win. Purdy threw 16 of 21 passes for a 76% completion rate, throwing 2 touchdowns in the win. He became the first ever quarterback to beat Tom Brady in his first start, and shared a rookie with the legendary QB on the field after the game. Brady's own path is a similar one to Purdy's, having been selected in the 6th round and overlooked by every franchise in the league. Brady has used that as fuel for the entirety of his decorated career, and has spoken only about how that moment in his life angered him and gave him a reason to work harder than everybody else around him. Purdy used the momentum from his first career win to keep winning. Week 15 at Seattle, win. Week 16 against the Commanders, win. Week 17 at Las Vegas, win. Week 18 against Arizona, win. The Niners were headed for the playoffs, and Brock Purdy was 5-0 as the starter, and by this point, generating plenty of buzz around the league. To those inside the organization, Kyle Shanahan, Purdy's teammates, and everyone in the building, it was hardly surprising. They knew what he was capable of. To everybody else on the outside, Purdy was shocking the nation. San Francisco had lost both their starting quarterback and capable backup to injuries in what would typically completely derail a franchise and its goals of winning a championship. The 49ers hadn't missed a beat and looked as dangerous as anybody with a stacked defense, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle firing on offense, and Brock Purdy pulling the strings. But how would he perform under the pressure of the playoffs? After all, winner-go-home football comes with a whole new level of pressure. His response? The best game of his season so far. 332 yards and 3 touchdowns against Seattle to calmly dispatch the Seahawks and advance to the divisional playoff against the Cowboys, where they would win once again to set up a conference championship game against the high-flying Philadelphia Eagles. Purdy started the game poised and ready for the moment, and the football.
One of the games I'll never forget, bro. Hot take. Not even a hot take anymore, bro. Y'all seen it 2 weeks ago, bro. Oh, if Purdy never got hurt this game, I guarantee Niners are going to the Super Bowl and winning it. It's crazy though, but shit happens, you know.
Footballing world watched on in amazement that the young rookie quarterback taken dead last in the NFL draft less than a year ago might be about to guide his team into the Super Bowl. It was unfathomable as it was happening, the kind of story that makes you want to pinch yourself just to make sure it was real, but here it was.
Exactly.
Devastatingly, Brock Purdy's story that season was robbed of the final chapter. He was hit by Eagles pass rusher Hassan Reddick in the first quarter of the game, catching his throwing arm as he pulled it back. He'd suffered an elbow injury that meant he couldn't throw, struggling with shocking pain in his arm, and it cost the 49ers the game. Without a quarterback who could throw, the Niners stumbled and crashed out of the playoffs one stop short of a return to the Super Bowl for Kyle Shanahan, and it felt like a cruel and bitter end to one of the 2022 season's most remarkable stories. Brock Purdy had gone from a guy that nobody knew, who was doomed as just another quarterback who'd hang around the league for a couple of seasons before fading into the background, like so many who'd come before him, into a playoff-winning starter who went 7-0 before an injury cut him down. All of a sudden, he'd earned the respect of not only his teammates and coaches, but players and fans who loved the game. Now he's expected to be the starter, bumping first-round talent Trey Lance out of the starting spot. The pressure will be high for Purdy to maintain his success, this time facing defenses who know precisely who he is. Nicknamed Mr. Relevant, Purdy has put himself on the map, and he's looking to write the next chapter. What are your projections for this upcoming season and for Brock's career? Do you think he's the real deal, or will defensive coordinators lock him up? Tell us in the comments. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. That's very kind of you. We invite you to stick around because we are on our way to 1 million subs.
Guys, wait on it. This man's gonna win the Super Bowl this year. I guarantee it, bro. No one else but Brock Purdy. Give this man his flowers. This man is gonna be the best quarterback to ever do it. Trust me. All he needs is time, and he'll do it. Make sure y'all like and sub. Go Niners.